Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of August the 1st through the 7th of 2016. Can you believe it? Can you believe it's August? Wow. Where has the year gone? What do we have going on this week? This is actually a big week. It's almost like time to shift gears, if you want to call it that. After so many months of trudging along through the sludge and the muck, of all those retrogrades that were happening. We still have some, but there's definitely a huge shift here. Now, on August the 2nd, Mars is finally going to go back into Sagittarius. It's going to leave Scorpio. Most of you, I think, are going to be pretty thankful because that Scorpio energy was pretty intense this time. Not a good place for Mars to be direct. And it played out on the world stage with all of the violence and everything. So this is going to be much more pleasant from the 2nd onward, where we see Mars continuing to pick up speed and the energy being a little more lighthearted. So that's a good thing. But about it being back on March the 6th, when it went into Sagittarius, let's all try to think back, okay? What were we trying to do then? I think in my mind I was thinking about all kinds of things, and I'm really starting to see that this week they're coming to fruition. And it's like finally getting the green light to go forward, if that makes any sense. Because way back then, it wasn't even clear how you were supposed to do it, what it was you were supposed to do, all of those types of things. So it's making more sense now, and I like that. And also on August the 2nd, we have a fiery new moon in Leo. And I think it's going to help you put the passion back into whatever it is that you love, that you're working on, or put some new drive into maybe even a new project, something that felt stalled for such a long time. Because that's kind of how it's showing it here, is that you had a vision, and your vision has sort of been at an impasse, and you've been waiting and waiting for things to move. But, and this is a big but, like a finally kind of thing, where I want to say that after months of setbacks, bureaucratic red tape, anything that could have just made it more difficult, you're waiting on things to happen, it's like all of a sudden, there's your reward, okay? And the reward may not even be coming in the form of working out something that's old. It's kind of side by side, to tell you the truth, with what was lost. So you have some of the old and some of the new. You're sort of mourning things that have gone by the wayside. And that's okay, all right? Because at this point, I think you're in a much better place. Like I said, you have a vision that you've been trying to work on, just trying to get there. But these new projects that you were really toward the end of July beginning to implement and working on, you're going to see them coming to fruition. You're going to see that if you continue in the direction that you're going, in the mode that you're in, applying yourself to these projects the way that you are. For some of you, it relates to your job. To others, it may be in regard to relationships, some other kind of a career move, finances. Your rewards are there. Keep letting them accumulate. Keep letting them, because this is something that if it is financial, it doesn't appear in your bank account yet. And I know I've mentioned that somewhere in a daily or whatever a couple of times. It's coming. Keep working on it, because you're going to see that what you're doing, like this week, you're going to say, hey, I have created something. I'm on to something here. I haven't even fully realized its potential yet. All right. You're going to be amazed at yourself. So the sorrow that you have over the things that didn't work out, it's not so important anymore. What you're achieving there is a great deal of wisdom, whereby you're able to say to yourself, it's okay. It's okay. And that's an amazing thing, because coming to terms with all that has happened and really being, I don't want to say grateful for the experience, but knowing that you survived it and knowing that it's always possible to create something new from scratch, I think you're going to be in awe of yourself. There's that ever-present feeling of discontent, of wanting to feel as though you, like to say, if you're totally free from the old situations, which hasn't quite happened yet, right? It's that feeling like you can 100% stand on your own 2 feet. And that will make you feel so much better. But you're working on it. I mean, you are truly working on it. You're rising to the challenges and meeting them head on. And the turn that has happened for you, I mean, when I stop and I think about this, like this is the first week in August. Really, just go back to what the first week in August was like last year. And how did you feel? What were you, you might have thought you had a direction planned, but it has changed so much along the way. And it doesn't remotely represent what you had in your mind last year. But your personal, like how you feel about yourself and your self-worth has improved tremendously because you're not bogged down with all of that. You're carrying the stress and the burdens much better than before. So you're learning very much. And here's the thing. Between the inner world and the outer world, your wishes are coming true. And you're learning very much to stop and listen to that voice in, I don't want to say voice in your head, but to your intuition. That type of thing where you know when it's time to move, when it's time to create, okay? And what are you creating? Wow. I want to say new commitments. They're commitments that will bring you happiness. They replace, it's amazing because they replace those things that were lost, and day by day. So that's the thing. If you really stop and you allow yourself to reflect over the past year and beyond, you're going to be able to say, well, every day for I don't know how long, my mind kept going. No matter how hard I tried not to think about this, it kept coming into my mind, And it doesn't. Isn't that amazing? People have asked me that in the past. And, like, how do I get over this? You keep doing new things. And eventually, it stops. All of a sudden, one day, you realize, hey, I stopped thinking about that. That really had me down. It just goes away. So when it comes in, and this is the only way I can explain it, is that when it comes in again, after not having that thought for a while, it's not as painful. It's not stabbing at you where, you cringe because you've gotten past it. So you're really on a most phenomenal journey here that I keep saying all the time. So many of you, when you get past this, you're going to want to write a book because you are getting past the storm. You're getting to smoother waters. It's like the storm is going away. I want to say sometime next month, you're actually completing, like maybe somewhere September, by October, by the time we get past that Mercury shadow, it's happening. You are eliminating what is painful. But this month, starting right now, starting this week, you're doing what it takes to move forward, to move on, to get past the stress. But here's the funny things. Like a lot of you say to me, like, okay, you're talking about October the 8th now, somewhere in that time frame, because Mercury leaves shadow on October the 7th. What I see you here is having the clarity and like regaining your faith in the universe where you know what it is you're creating. And this month you're like working on moving on from it. Okay? Things are happening in your favor. Like I said, you're starting to see that some of your new projects are going to be rewarding. And as you do it, what's happening for some of you, now not everyone, this is where it's tricky. This is why I always say listen to others and what they're speaking about, because some of you are going to have actual dates. All right? You get something important in the mail and it says that on such and such a date, you're going to receive these funds. On such and such a date, your divorce will be finalized. On such and such a date, your bankruptcy will be complete. On such and such a date, you will have settlement on your new home. That type of thing. Those that can't find a specific date, listen to everybody else. Because I guarantee you that you're going to find out that they're all pretty much happening at the same time. And you're going to say, okay. And that's where your faith comes in, is that if you don't have a date, like a target date for yourself where you know something's going to happen for you, you just keep doing what you're doing. And know that when you get there, as everything's happening for everybody, it's all going to start happening for you too. And I know that sounds like it takes a lot of faith, but not everybody has a date. But it's important to know this, because you will have success. All right? You'll have success that comes through clarity, and you're going to feel reborn. I keep telling you, by October, it's just, there's patience needed here to get through this. I'm going to put down some more cards, because what you're doing, like this week, I even want to say that, like, whatever you did last week, all right? Last week was a big week for you. I think you made some changes to different things in your life, and you're like, whoa, because, like I said, things were at an impasse. That is all beginning to change. So you're eliminating and you're ending. This is good. Ending in order to have new beginnings. Wow. And what's at stake here is really a sense of freedom, which I absolutely love for you, because, you know, you've been too stressed, too bogged down for so long. And it doesn't happen overnight where you wake up and everything is hunky-dory, okay? But you get that thing that's been hanging over your head, like you're making progress with it. This week you're going to see things happening, okay? By October, you're free from it. You've closed some doors, like permanently. It's a good thing, you know. And this is about your truth, like your truth with yourself. You just feel so much more carefree. You take care of this, and it's like, I have to admit, I've never totally seen The Wizard of Oz from beginning to end. I've seen it in bits and pieces. But it's like you're on that road, and you're headed toward that place, all right? That magical place. It's out there somewhere. And when you totally arrive, I want to say next year, like between June, July, August, it starts playing out the way you always dreamt of it. So, but a lot is happening before then. So don't go, oh my God, now she's talking about next year, because it's not that way. You see, like I said, the change doesn't all happen overnight. You get rid of everything, and then you're beginning a new journey where you feel like you're packed so much lighter, if you understand what I'm saying, because you're not taking all that baggage from the past with you. All right? So this week, it's important to have that vision for change, because things want to start moving. It's just that, like I said, it feels like that bureaucratic red tape, you know, around a couple of things that you're trying to do. It's like, well, you know, it isn't going to happen today, but you're able to do something. You definitely have things happening. So when you get to this new beginning in October, you know, you're so much calmer, and you're working on, like, I want to say, a really functional plan for your life, one that leads to abundance in relationships, in choices. It's an awesome thing. So you're just going to watch yourself grow, and you're going to watch your plan unfold. But I have to tell you, I do not feel that you previously knew what this plan should be. That's kind of why you have to almost wait until October for the next step. As you go around eliminating things and changing things and manifesting things, you're going to be surprised where you end up, okay? So it's not just that you put your life in this recovery, repair mode. You're opening a new chapter that's going to be a successful one. And I think it's going to be more in line, more honest with your true self. And things are out there that are coming. They're just not arriving yet. Right? Why does that always happen? Life continues. You have to remember that. So, realistically, I don't know how to put this. It's like you can make something that you fantasized about a reality, okay? Some form of an emotional reality. And I find it absolutely amazing, but it's through your plans, it's through what you're creating, and this is about what you start creating, like I said, when you get to October. You have to take care of whatever it is that's on the agenda. And for many of you, it is legal or involves some form of papers being signed. When that's done and that's all balanced and fair, and you're able to sit back, and if it had any kind of a financial impact on you, if you're able to say, okay, this is what I have, this is what I have left, that's where you can begin to plan for your future. You see, right now you don't know where you stand because it isn't all done. All right? Maybe you want to sell something, but you don't know right now how much you're going to get for it. So how can you possibly plan how you're going to spend all the money and what you're going to do? Right? So right now you're just going to keep on working on things and know that every day you are making progress with the old and the new. So this is a very, very important week in your timeline. You need to get out there, get busy, create, eliminate, keep on moving, because October's coming and it's going to be a very busy 9 weeks. This is just the beginning. I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here again next week. Take care.